Capricorn, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net doing your July 2019 tarot reading. Sorry it's late. You have a full moon partial lunar eclipse in your sign on the 16th. So it's going to be a big month for you guys. I feel like you've been hanging on super tight to something, and I think it's a behavior, a belief, something more internal. Trying to, keep control is what just keeps coming to mind. Like, I'm in control, I'm in control. And the more like you try to hang on to that, the more I think you're driving a few people away, whether you realize it or not, but it's more internally, it's just making you more unhappy and sort of a little bit panicked. So I see what's going to happen for you guys is like a surrender, and you having to like face a couple, three difficult truths, and maybe realize that, being in control, like dealing with everything, being in control, thinking, oh, I just have to do everything because no one does anything right. You guys are so detail oriented, which is great, but it can go, I feel like it's kind of gotten to the point where it's maybe pushing people away because they never get a chance, and there's maybe a little bit of like my way or the highway, and my way is the only way to do it. So people are just like kind of, I think, feeling a little put off. Not everyone, but a few people. And I think you're fine. I think you're just going to get to the point where you're going to be, it may come out as fine, you guys all do it, but then you're going to slowly realize like, oh, why am I trying to control everything? What inside of me is feeling out of control right now, and why? And going to people, I just see you having this heart to heart, be like, I'm sorry. I see that I've been totally trying to control everything, and being vulnerable and saying, I can't do it all. I don't want to do it all. I do want your help. I see where I don't make it easy because I'm so particular. So this is only for some of you, but, or someone could be saying this to you. It could result in perhaps you broke up with someone recently and you guys are going to come together. Don't get hung up on gender, but here's this King of Cups, a water sign or someone with a lot of water. I feel like you guys, like there's a choice to be made, and there's a full moon on this card. So it could have to do with that eclipse. Like, are you guys going to be able to get past this or not? And I feel like it's going to be settled this month. Like, can you let go of the resentment? Can you let go of the criticism? You know how we get when we're in a relationship, like, the bastard didn't put the toilet paper on the roll again. And it's just like, how could they do that to me? They know I hate it. And I don't know. I don't know. Is that, but I'm sure, we then at the same time totally don't think, and something they think is significant and important is important at all. So we just blow it off because, like, who cares that the oil light is on for 50 miles over the oil change? But to them, it's like the worst thing in the world. So we're always doing that to each other. Are you just not compatible? Has too much resentment? Can you get over it? I mean, these are the types of questions and thoughts that are going to be coming up. Try therapy. Oh, shoot. I just had something and it went out of my head. Oh, well, I'll keep reading if it comes back. Oh, I want to see what's at the bottom of the deck. Knight of Pentacles. Slow change. So this is Pentacles is you. It takes you a long time to come around, to change. You're not fixed, but that's Taurus, but still, you're the earth sign. It was like I was just saying to Leo, they're the fixed fire sign, but it's almost an oxymoron. Fire signs are still active. So even though you're not a fixed earth signs are fixed by nature, by the nature of their sign, not good or bad, just, they're earthbound. They're solid. I mean, there's so many positive things about that. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So I think it's Deborah Silverman, someone, she's so great because she's also a therapist. So she's, um, a lot of, I think she uses astrology. I don't know if this is true, but my perception is she uses astrology as a way to make her therapy more like approachable. So I really appreciate that. And someone asked her, I was watching something, and someone asked her, like, what signs are the best to get along? And you always hear this opposites attract, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you know what? That's really not true. The more like you someone is, the better it's going to be. Because sure, at first opposites attract, and that's what's exciting, but that's actually what's going to start bugging you about the person. It's interesting and new at the beginning, but it's not so fun after a while if they're that different than you. So I thought that was something really interesting to think about in relationships, that we may be attracted to this person because they're everything we're not, yet at the same time that can kind of spin against the relationship, because if you're super neat and the other person isn't, how is that going to go living together? I mean, there's going to be resentment potentially building up unless that neat person is like, I love cleaning, let me do everything, I don't care. I think it's pretty. So if I kind of, that's the type of situation I'm feeling, and just sort of surrendering to, like, you know what, we're so opposite. Maybe it's we're both good people. It was just not meant to be. And coming to this real, like, peaceful understanding, and not having to just, I feel like we do with relationships. It's like, they're right and I'm wrong. They're right. I'm right and they're wrong. We rarely say we're wrong and they're right, but and just being like, okay, you know what? I see where this is going downhill. This has been going downhill for a while. You know what? It's okay. We gave it a shot. You never know how a relationship's going to be till you give it a shot, and it's not working out. And, like, I wish you luck. You're cool. Like, instead of just blowing it up and just having a freaking giant drama fest. And I see, like, you're looking forward now. You're like, okay, it's time to move on. Some other parts of your life, some ships are starting to come in. Maybe you're going to get a job offer. Some things you've set in motion are going to start paying off, coming to fruition. There's this 10 of Pentacles here. Some of you may want to have a family, and there may be some biological clock ticking, and that's really stressful and hard. So that may be forcing sort of a little bit of this relationship issue. For others of you, you may be traveling home to see family. You may be going overseas or going on a cruise or going on a vacation. I don't know what cruises you go on during the summer, but I think of it as a winter thing, probably because of hurricanes. But hurricanes now, though? I don't even remember. Where you want to spend your energy is also something I'm getting. Like, do you want to, I don't know, you have to figure out what's right for you. I do see some of you, though, being like, I've been patient enough with a job, a relationship, where I'm living, some situation, and you're like, it's time to move on. This Chariot card's like, I'm taking matters into my own hands, and And I'm gonna, yeah, it's like stop trying to control other people, other situations, other things. And it's not like a selfish thing, but it's like I can only control me, and I'm the one that's unhappy here. So I need to make some changes and do something new. So I see you moving out, moving somewhere, getting a new job, changing up. And it may be something you want to do for a while, but this is Knights are changed in the suit that they're in, and it's pentacles. So this is health, family, or health, home, um, how you earn your money, where you live, your day-to-day routine, like tangible things. Like we'll see a tangible shift in how your day-to-day living is. I also have this change of thinking. This Knight of Swords, exactly. Like you're coming to some realizations in your head and some truths, or you have to change your thinking about something. You can't keep doing repetitively the same thing and expect a different outcome. And things come back into balance this way too. It's like by letting go, you think, oh my God, if I let go, like the gravity's going to stop working and everyone's going to fly off the earth, which my son says won't happen because we'll explode or something from the lack of pressure. I don't know. But it's like, no, everything will be fine. You're like, oh, wow. Like, I don't have to. This came up for another sign. I love this. I think it's a radio show too, but a podcast, Bob and Sherry. And they always say Bob's a very nervous flyer. And they're like, well, you don't have to worry. If Bob's on the plane, he's worrying about everything and monitoring everything for you. So you just sit back and relax because you couldn't add any more worrying or monitoring of the flight because he's so hyper vigilant and on top of everything because he's such a nervous flyer. And this is it. It's like, let the universe surrender, be vulnerable, let go, let the universe take over. The earth is going to keep spinning. Take a vacation. Relax. Like, you have to let some things go. You have to learn to live a more simple way. Learn to leave a dish in the sink. It's going to be okay. It'll just be there tomorrow. Trust me, I do it all the time. You would hate living with me. I'm a freaking messy Sagittarius. It will be okay. So it doesn't mean you have to like become a slob. That's certainly not what I'm saying and go against your nature. But yeah, I feel you like loosening up, having a drink, and just like relaxing on the porch and not letting it drive you crazy that you know there are clothes in the dryer and they're getting wrinkled if you don't get up and do it. Like, yeah, put on the touch-up cycle when you have time to fold them. It'll unwrinkle them. I do it all the time. And then you can fold them. But spend time out on the deck with your drink, with your family, is more important. And so you're going to start to be able to prioritize things that way. And little by little, slowly, relax, I guess. Why have you felt like you haven't been able to relax? It could be something from childhood. You know, Dr. Shafali, I'm forgetting her first name. She has a YouTube channel. She's a therapist. She does a lot with parenting and, you know, how everything basically goes back to our childhood. And like, why do you feel like you have to be hyper vigilant? For those of you that this resonates for, you can relax. I guess that's, I don't know, it's kind of an odd message that's coming through for you guys, but I think it's going to be super, like, I just see you like, like letting all this like tension release from you, and just feeling so much better about things. All right. Capricorn, have a great July. Take care.